Direct 500, order management and e-commerce software for multi-sales channel businesses. Today we're going to look at the O2 mobile integration for Mass 500 and Direct 500. We like to call this our Best Buy module. So you can go online, order your product, and pick up at your nearest location in 15 minutes. So let's talk a little bit about some of the business challenges involved in doing that. The first one is managing multiple warehouses. Businesses who have multiple warehouses obviously want to have a single e-store and present a single image to the customers. But when you're spread out around the country, you need to be able to route those orders to the nearest warehouse, and obviously we have to assign a customer to that closest warehouse. However, when the customer is shopping, they want to be able to get the product, and it may not be available in their closest warehouse. So we need to look at the primary warehouse first, but also look at other warehouses. From there, we need to be able to work with some business rules that take into consideration the cost of shipping, different shipping methods, and prices may be defined by warehouses as well. So we need to be able to present all of that to the customer. In addition to that, we need to be able to place one order in the system and have multiple warehouses impacted so that when the order comes in, it is routed to the appropriate warehouses and fulfilled out to the customer. And the Mass 500, Direct 500 eStore solution, and with its fulfillment capabilities, can handle all of those challenges for you. Now the other is allowing us to pick it quickly and having it integrated out into our warehouse management solution. A lot of solutions in this area do a lot of importing or synchronization on a timed event, and all of that becomes very clumsy, difficult to manage, and anytime you want to change anything can really foul things up. So customers today expect to be able to place their order online and pick it up or have it delivered the same day as long as they meet a time frame window. And the Direct 500 solution allows us to do that. So first of all, we can set a time, say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you do that, your order will be fulfilled the same day for delivery. We're not importing or exporting. Mass 500 is a part of the distribution solution for Mass 500, as well as O2 Mobile. So sales orders from the eStore or the call center can be immediately available for picking in the closest warehouse or the appropriate warehouse, and are immediately available on the O2 Mobile handheld. No importing required. Now, once we have it into the warehouse, a number of things have to happen. We need to have methods that define this item as a pickup item or internal delivery. If it is a delivery item, you may not be able to ship that item. It may be for delivery or pickup only, so we obviously don't want to be trying to FedEx that item out, and we have business rules in place for that. A lot of boxing logic comes into play now, so how are we going to charge for the shipping if we do need to deliver it or have it shipped? We may have a flat rate method for that, or we may use actual shipping tables to calculate that for you. And we need to be able to route the pick tickets to the appropriate warehouse. All of that coming from the sales order or from the shopping cart of Direct 500. Let's take a look at the Direct 500 product, the O2 mobile integration. Okay, we're at the Direct 500 homepage for the template eStore. So this is the eStore that comes right out of the box from Direct 500 without any input on style or design for a specific customer. So I'm currently logged in, so I'm an existing customer, and the first thing I'm going to do is search for an item. Now the standard home page or web page comes up for that item, and it's a big red classic wagon. And I'm just going to add that item to my shopping cart. Now, Direct 500 knows the warehouse that this is going to come out of based off of who is logged in and my address. So it knows the closest warehouse. So I'm going to just continue my checkout process. And this has been identified as a pickup item. Now, I could select one of the other available delivery methods, but I am going to go by my nearest location and pick that up. So I'm going to continue to check out. And at that point, Direct 500 has one last review to check out. And then at the bottom, my method of payment is going to be check. So I'll pay by check when I go by to pick it up. And I'll submit the order. Okay. Now Direct 500 has created order number 328, in the MAS 500 system. So let's jump over to MAS 500 real quick, and we'll go ahead and bring up that order. Okay, so real-time integration, the order's in the system, didn't do anything to it. So we're going to bring up the Pocket PC, and we'll do the same thing. So I'll go into the shipping unit on the handheld device, and we'll pick from the sales order number. So I'll simply come down here, key in 328. Do you want to create a pick? Yes. And now the MAS 500 is going out, creating the pick, finding that unit in that warehouse, finding it in the bin, creating me a pick list. It's telling me I've got one item that needs to go and be picked. And now I'll walk through the warehouse and find that item. So I look at my pick record. That's going to tell me the bin location to go to. I find the item, scan it, and it's going to do this selection for me automatically instead of me clicking on it. It's going to add that item to my pick. I'll come back and it'll tell me that all of the items have been filled for that order. There's nothing missing, and I'll be able to save the order. So all of the items have been updated, and at this point there are many different workflows that we can implement with MAS 500 and with O2 Mobile. But in this case I'm going to go ahead and create a shipment record as well, so that I have the paperwork sitting with this shipment and be ready to be invoiced. So the shipment has now been created. I can print the documents, print a packing list or whatever, and we'll simply print and exit. And we'll go ahead and commit. So I've just relieved inventory. Now, not everybody's going to go through these steps to relieve the inventory and so forth. Most people use the mobile device just to pull the items and then allow a packing person to load the items. But in this case, I wanted to show you the complete process. So let's jump back over to the sales order, and we'll do a right click on that sales order number, and we'll go into the preview and we'll look at the pick list. So as you can see inside of 500, the sales order is there from Direct 500. The pick list that was created on the mobile device is there. Go to the shipment record, and the shipment record is there as well. And it is committed, so it is relieved from inventory. So all that's happened with real-time integration, no synchronization, no exporting, no importing. So let's go back to see what the customer sees on the website. So I'll go back in and sign in. And I'm going to go to my order inquiry tab, and I'm looking at my orders. There's order number 328. So order 328 is now closed and available for pickup. Now, with other solutions that are available from the Direct 500 and MAS 500, we could have sent a text message or an email to the customer telling them that their product is now ready for. Now let's take a moment to review what we saw in the demo for Direct 500 and the O2 Mobile solution. First of all, Direct 500 and O2 Mobile have real-time integration with MAS 500, so there's no synchronization or importing. When an order is in the system from the eStore, it's immediately in MAS 500 and therefore immediately available on the O2 Mobile device in the warehouse. Orders that are placed in the call center, so on the desktop or through the eStore, are available for immediate picking in the appropriate warehouse. So Direct 500 is managing that relationship and managing the closest warehouse so that we can push line items to the right warehouse for picking. Now there is some filtering that we need to do that allows us to do an immediate pick versus creating a pick sheet, and those are all workflows that your consultant can work with you. The Direct 500 eStore is also updated real time in the other direction. So as we continue to work in MAS 500, creating picks, shipments, and invoicing, that information can also be reviewed by the customer at their e-commerce site. As they log in, they'll be able to do an order inquiry, track the package if it's being shipped, or see if it's available for pickup. Now Direct 500 also manages the MAS 500 warehouse and inventory data structure. So we're using that same data structure as MAS 500. The Direct 500 relationship with the customer We know the address. We know the closest warehouse. Also, Direct 500 allows us to have a primary warehouse and a secondary warehouse to look for inventory, and then give the customer the option if they'd like to look at other warehouses for shopping and fulfillment. If they do that, then we also manage the multiple warehouses on the order at a line item level, and we send out the items to the pick ticket to the appropriate warehouse. And that concludes our demo. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you looking at Mass 500 and Direct 500.